In the shadowed underbelly of Seoul's neon-drenched streets, Han-Gyeol gasped his last breath, betrayed by the guild he'd bled for, those backstabbing pricks who'd promised glory in the endless grind of the Abyss raid. A dagger to the gut from his own raid leader's hand. For the loot drop, the bastard had sneered. Han-Gyeol's vision blurred red. Pain exploded like shattered glass in his veins. He was just another disposable tank, a level 87 scrub, who'd tanked too many hits for ungrateful DPS. The world faded to black, and he thought, fuck this life. What a pathetic way to go. But death wasn't the end, not for him. A jolt ripped through the void like lightning cracking open a coffin. His eyes snapped wide to a cavernous throne room etched in obsidian and flickering hellfire. Chains dangled from vaulted ceilings, dripping with crimson stalactites. The air reeked of sulfur and old blood. Servants in tattered robes knelt in a semicircle, their horns bowed low. At the center loomed a colossal figure, the great demon king, his father apparently. Towering horns curled like scythes from a crown of writhing shadows. Eyes burned like twin forges, appraising the newcomer with cold disdain. Han-Gyeol, no Prince Astrum now, pushed up from the cold stone floor. His new body felt wrong, lighter, frailer. Pale skin stretched over bones that screamed noble but starved. He flexed fingers ending in sharpened nails, and a surge hit him. Memories flooded in, not his but this prince's. Abandoned at birth, left to rot in some forsaken human realm because the king deemed him a curse. Too weak for demonic blood, too human in frailty. The court whispered it even now. The lost whelp returns, one hissed from the shadows. Frail as mist, he'll shatter before the trials. Astrum's heart hammered. You know what I reckon? This ain't no dream. He was really here in this hellhole of a palace where power wasn't earned. It was devoured. Demons didn't level up like in the game. They awakened. Souls were currency, magic was bloodline, and the weak got cold like yesterday's trash. The great demon king's empire sprawled across abyssal realms, fractured by endless wars with celestial bastards up top and rival demon lords clawing for scraps below. Social classes, brutal. Royals like him schemed from thrones while lesser fiends slaved in soul forges mining essence from the damned. Tensions simmered everywhere. Half-bloods resented pure lines like the king, and his spawn vied for the crown like rabid dogs. One slip, and you'd be fodder for the next guy's ascension. The king leaned forward, his voice a rumble that shook the marrow in Astrum's bones. Rise, son, the blood calls you home. No warmth, just calculation. Astrum stood, legs wobbling like a newborn foal. The court sneered. His half-brothers lounged on lesser dais, three of them hulking brutes with muscles like forged iron and auras crackling with stolen souls. Prince Draven the eldest grinned, fangs glinting. Look at the runt. Father's pet project crawls back from exile. Laughter rippled low and venomous. They saw him as nothing, a glitch in the royal line. Disease ran rampant here too, the soul rot, a plague that gnawed at weak vessels, turning demons to husks. Rumors said Astrum carried it latent from his human taint, untouchable, doomed. Astrum bit back a retort. Inside his mind raced. Han-Gyeol's gamer instincts kicked in, scanning the room like a raid boss. Stats? None visible yet, but something pulsed deep in his core. Warm, hungry, he focused and it bloomed. A notification not from any system but etched into his soul. Infinite vessel, passive trait, absorb any magical attribute without limit. No overflow, no rejection, bottomless potential. Holy shit, you wouldn't believe this. In the old world, he'd grinded for rare traits, barely scraping a mana cap of 500. Here, unlimited. He could suck in fire, lightning, shadows, hell, the whole damn abyss, and it'd just make him hungrier, but he kept it locked down, face blank. Let them think him broken. The king waved a hand dismissing the assembly. Prepare for the awakening rite. Prove your worth or perish. The brothers exchanged glances, glee in their eyes. They smelled blood. Hours blurred into a haze of ritual prep. Servants shoved Astrum into silk robes heavy with runic wards meant to amplify bloodline power. The demonic court buzzed with undercurrents, whispers of the ongoing rift wars where demon legions clashed with angel hosts over soul veins, the raw arteries of magic. Power dynamics tilted on a knife's edge. The king's favor swung like a pendulum, and his sons were the weights. Draven commanded the Shadow Legion's elite assassins who melted into night. Thorn the Middle Pup led the Bloodhound's berserkers drunk on rage essence. And Kale, the Sly One, wove illusions that broke minds before blades touched flesh. They ruled their factions with iron fists, class tensions boiling over into purges of impure ranks. Astrum, he had nothing. No allies, no army, just this vessel humming like an untapped nuke. As night fell, the palace corridors twisted into labyrinths of black marble veined with glowing fissures. Torches sputtered green flames casting long shadows that whispered secrets. Astrum slipped from his chambers, pulse racing. He needed to test it alone. The awakening wasn't some party, it was a gauntlet. Demons channeled their first soul at adolescence, ripping essence from beasts or rivals to ignite their core. Fail and soul rot claimed you turning your body to ash from within. Success, you ascended tiers, becoming a force that bent reality. For royals, it was public spectacle, humiliation if you flopped, death if rivals rigged it. He ducked into a forgotten alcove lined with cracked effigies of fallen princes. Kneeling, he pressed palms to the stone, willing the vessel to stir. A thread of ambient magic trickled in, from the fissures like sipping hell's tap water. It filled him smooth, no burn, no cap. His veins lit up faint blue underskin. Grinning in the dark, he thought this changes everything. Back in the guild, he'd been the meat shield soaking aggro while DPS stole the glory. Here he'd be the void, swallowing it all. But the test cut short. A chill slithered up his spine. Shadows thickened unnatural. Footsteps silent as death padded closer. Assassins, his brother's hounds. Draven's work, no doubt, eager to prune the family tree before the right. Astrum froze breath shallow. The environment turned hostile, every flicker of torchlight a potential trap. Power dynamics crystallized. He was prey in a den of wolves, social classes enforcing the cull. Weak royals didn't last, they fueled the strong. The first shadow detached from the wall, a wraith in cloaked void, eyes glowing ember red. Soul-forged dagger gleamed poisoned with rot essence. It lunged silent as sin blade arcing for Astrum's throat. Time slowed. Han-Gyeol's reflexes, honed from 1,000 dodges, kicked in. He twisted, rolling across stone. The blade kissed his shoulder, drawing a line of fire. Pain lanced hot, but the vessel hummed. It drank the poison mid-flow, turning venom to fuel. What the... The assassin hissed, materializing fully. For the true heirs die forgotten. It was a Shadowkin lesser demon bound to Draven's Legion, class tensions raw. These grunts hated royals, yet served them to climb the ladder. Astrum scrambled back, heart thundering. Emotions crashed, fear sharp as the blade but laced with thrill. This body was fragile, but his mind? A goddamn cheat code. The assassin struck again, feinting low, then high. Astrum parried with a loose chunk of effigy stone, sparks flying. The impact jarred his arm, but he felt the intruder's aura. Mid-tier shadow essence coiled like smoke. Internal monologue screamed, play it smart, don't tank, absorb. As the next slash came, Astrum dropped low, channeling instinct. The vessel yawned open. Not a spell, just hunger. The dagger grazed his chest, slicing robe and flesh. Blood welled, but instead of spilling, the wound pulsed. It pulled. The assassin's shadow tendrils frayed, sucked toward the gash like water down a drain. The demon's staggered eyes widening. What sorcery? Astrum's vision sharpened, colors bleeding into hyperfocus. The vessel gorged on the leaked essence, shadow magic pure and oily. It integrated seamless, no rejection. His own shadows lengthened, coiling around his feet like loyal serpents. Power surged, not overwhelming but infinite in promise. He could feel the bottomless pit yawning wider. You know what I reckon? These assholes just handed me my first upgrade. The assassin recovered, lunging with a burst of void step blurring into smoke. It reformed behind Astrum claws, raking for the spine. But Astrum was ready. He spun shadows, whipping out to ensnare the attacker's wrist. The demon yanked back, shock rippling across its face. Impossible, you're unawakened. Astrum smirked faint. Emotions boiled, betrayals echo from his old death-fueling rage. This wasn't just survival. It was payback. In this world, competition was law brothers, culled siblings for a nod from dad. Social tensions festered. Pure lines like Draven hoarded essence, while half-breeds like the Shadowkin scrapped for crumbs. Astrum, he'd upend the board. He pressed the advantage shadows tightening like nooses. The assassin thrashed, drawing a curved blade from its cloak, soul-bound weapon humming with stolen lives. It slashed wild arcs, forcing Astrum to weave. Stone chips flew environment alive with chaos. A torch toppled flames, licking up a tapestry of ancient wars, depicting demon kings devouring angel wings. The smell of singed history mixed with sweat and fear. Astrum's breath came ragged but steady. The vessel converted every drop of fatigue into clarity. He dodged a overhead chop, countering with a shadow-laced fist. It connected solid, cracking the demon's jaw. Bone crunched wet. The assassin reeled, spitting ichor. The prince stirs. Desperation edged its voice. It channeled core essence shadows exploding outward in a dome of razor darkness. Astrum braced but didn't block. He leaned in. The vessel drank deep, the onslaught funneling into him like a storm into a black hole. Pain flared, edges of the magic resisting, but it folded, integrated. His own aura flickered to life, tentative violet mingling with shadow. The dome collapsed inward, feeding him more. The assassin dropped to knees, essence drained, pale as death. Astrum loomed over it, chest heaving, emotions crested, triumph hot and vicious, laced with the old betrayal's scar. This was his first kill, not as fodder, but as predator. The demon looked up, pleading, "Mercy, Lord." Draven commands, but I serve the strong. Dialogue sparse, but loaded. Astrum's voice emerged low, rough from disuse. Strong? You picked the wrong side. No mercy. He gripped the assassin's throat, shadows burrowing in. The vessel activated full, awakening, igniting without rite or fanfare. The soul tore free, a writhing orb of midnight essence. Astrum inhaled it raw. No incantation, just consumption. It flooded him, visions flashing, the demon's life, born in slums of the lower abyss, scavenging scraps while royals feasted on soul harvests. Class resentment burned in every memory, fueling the betrayal, but Astrum absorbed it all. The orb dissolved, integrating. His core blazed, violet-black power tiers unlocking in cascade. Awakening complete, shadow affinity maxed, infinite vessel enhanced, muscles knit, wounds sealed, frailty gone. He felt the bottomless potential uncoil like a dragon waking, the body slumped, husk crumbling to dust. Astrum stood alone in the flickering alcove, essence humming in his veins. The palace stirred, distant guards barking orders. His brothers would know soon. Draven's hounds didn't fail quiet, but failure bred fear, and fear, that's when the real games began. Dawn broke blood-red over the abyssal spires. The court assembled in the grand crucible, a colosseum carved from volcanic glass ringed by howling winds. Thousands packed the tears, demons of every stripe, horned nobles in jewel-crusted armor, lesser fiends in rags clutching talismans against the rot. The air thrummed with anticipation, laced with malice. World-building pulsed here. The crucible was heart of the empire, where awakenings decided fates, win and claim a legion. To lose and your soul fed the arena's wards, powering the rift barriers against invaders. Social classes clashed visibly. Pure lines jeered from upper boxes while underclass snarled bets on the underdog. Disease loomed too, spectators masked against airborne rot spores that thrived on spilled essence. The king sat enthroned, obsidian crown pulsing. His presence warped gravity, lesser demons bowing till foreheads kissed stone. Power dynamics stark, he was apex unchallenged, but suns chipped at his legacy, each awakening a bid for airship. Competition feral. Last Rite had seen Thorn gut his own cousin for a fire affinity boost. Draven lounged left, smirking at Astrum's entrance. Thorn cracked knuckles, grinning wide. Kale toyed with illusion threads, making phantom blades dance in air. They saw the frail prince unchanged. Mockery rippled. The lost lamb returns to slaughter, Draven boomed. Laughter crashed like waves. Astrum stepped into the arena sand, shifting underfoot warm with old blood. Robes billowed in wind, carrying whispers of the assassination attempt hushed up by royal decree. Guards had found dust at dawn, no body, no trace. Suspicion hung thick, but proof? None. He met his brother's eyes cool. Internal fire raged. Han-Gyeol's grit meshed with Astrum's buried spite. These fucks tried to erase me before I started. Now watch. The king raised a claw, silencing the din. Begin the rite. Call the shade beast. Gates groaned open, and it emerged, a hulking abomination stitched from shadow and bone, 8 legs skittering claws, dripping void ichor, tamed for rites, but feral enough to cull the unworthy. Its roar shook the stand's aura, flaring, Tier 3 essence that could shred unawakened flesh. The crowd leaned in, bets flipping frantic. 10 souls on the runt crumbling, a fiend yelled. Class tension spiked, underclass rooting for upset, dreaming of a weak king toppled. Astrum circled loose stance, betraying nothing. The vessel thrummed eager. Last night's feast had primed it, shadows coiling invisible under skin. The beast lunged, blurring fast as night. Claws raked air where he'd stood. He sidestepped, smooth gamer footwork translating seamless. Emotions peaked, adrenaline singing, but mind ice. Don't rush. Draw it out. Make them see. Draven leaned forward, brows furrowing. He's dodging? Thorn snorted. Luck. The beast tires him soon. Kale wove a subtle illusion, threading doubt into the air, making the sand seem to swallow Astrum's feet. Subtle sabotage royal style. Astrum felt the tug, reality warping faint, but the vessel rebelled. It absorbed the illusion threads, unraveling them into his core. Illusion resistance. 15% integrated. He grinned, inner voice cracking wise. Nice try, bro, but I'm the glitch now. The beast reared, spewing a cone of shadow fire, essence so dense it ate light. Astrum didn't evade. He charged into it, vessel wide open. Flames licked skin, searing but converting mid-touch. Pain twisted his gut, but power bloomed, violet inferno joining the shadows. He burst through, wreathed in dual affinities, steam hissing from borrowed heat. The beast recoiled, confused, its own fire rebelling. Astrum leaped, fist-cocked, shadow tendrils lashing. Impact landed, thunderous cracking chitin. Essence leaked black, and he drank it pull instinctive. The crowd gasped, silence shattering into roar. He feeds! A lesser demon shrieked. Bets flipped, chaos erupting. Pure lines shifted uneasy, upset brewing. The king watched, unblinking calculation deepening. Brothers tensed, Draven's smirk cracking. Thorn growled low. Cheat, that's no frail blood. Kale's illusions flickered erratic, his probe backfiring into Astrum's gain. Emotions cascaded. Astrum's chest tight with vindication. This wasn't just power, it was identity reborn. From betrayed guilty to abyssal air, the beast thrashed, legs impaling sand, but Astrum danced close, weaving strikes. Each hit siphoned more core, pulsing his vessel fuller. No limit, it stretched, elastic, hunger-sharpening senses. He saw threads now. Essence flows in air like veins ripe for harvest. The arena's wards hummed, distant feeding on the spectacle, but he could tap them too if pushed. Final lunge came desperate. The beast coiled whole essence into a spike of pure void, hurtling like a spear. Astrum met it, head-on, palms out. The vessel yawned, abyssal maw. Impact shuddered through him, bones creaking, but it poured in torrent. Visions assaulted, the beasts forging from fallen souls, echoes of pain and rage. He absorbed, integrated. The spike dissolved his body, glowing violet-black aura, flaring Tier 1, but laced with infinite promise. The husk collapsed, dust scattering on wind. Silence deafened, then exploded cheers mixed with boos. Underclass chanted, "Vessel, vessel," sensing the shift. A new player upending classes. Pure lines hissed, plots forming. Astrum stood panting, sweat carving tracks in dust. Wounds knit visible magic knitting flesh. He turned to the throne eyes, locking with the king's. No words, just challenge unspoken. Draven surged to feet, face twisted. "Father, this reeks of trickery." Thorn nodded, fists clenched. Kale's illusions hid his scowl, but not the fear. The king silenced them with a glance. The blood proves true. Astrum awakens. Pride? No, opportunity. He saw the tool now, a sun who consumed without breaking, perfect for the Rift Wars where legions starved on thin essence veins. But Astrum felt the undercurrent. Brothers' glares promised more knives. The court fractured whispers of alliance and betrayal. Social tensions ignited. Half-breeds saw hope in the tainted prince, a symbol against pure-line tyranny. Royals plotted containment. Disease fears lingered. Some swore his absorption mocked the rot immune to its decay. As attendants swarmed to bind the rights brands to his skin, Astrum's mind whirled. Infinite Vessel wasn't just trait, it was revolution. In this world of devoured souls, he'd be the one devouring back. You wouldn't believe this, but from pathetic death to bottomless prince, game on. The rite concluded in haze of chants and blood oaths. Astrum emerged from the crucible changed, not in bulk, still lean frame belying the storm within, but in presence. Shadows trailed his steps unbidden, curling like pets. Servants bowed deeper eyes wide with awe and terror. He caught snippets. He ate the shade whole. Draven's hound vanished last night. Coincidence? Rumors festered, feeding the court's paranoia. Back in chambers, he collapsed onto furs, staring at vaulted ceiling etched with conquest maps. Emotions settled into resolve, laced with dark humor. Han-Gyeol's voice echoed inner. Bet those guild traitors are grinding mid-tier raids while I'm slurping demon souls. Light profanity slipped in thought. Fuck yeah, the vessel purred content, but ravenous. Last night's assassin and the beast, appetizers. Real feast waited in the brothers' domains. World-building deepened in quiet reflection. The abyss wasn't monolithic. Realms layered like hell's onion. Upper crust, royal spires where kings schemed. Mid, forged cities where legions hammered weapons from soul shards competition fierce for promotions. Lower, rot pits, where diseased outcasts mined the foulest essence social classes enforcing quarantine. Power systems rigid, awakenings granted affinities but caps limited growth. Elites hoarded rare souls, dragon hearts, angel feathers to spike tears. Infinite Vessel? It laughed at caps. Astrum could level armies solo if he played smart. A knock shattered reverie. Entered a slip of a demoness chamber servant, half-blood horns, stunted eyes sharp. My prince, the king summons, alone. Suspicion prickled. Trap or overture? He nodded, dismissing her, but not before catching the flicker, hope in her gaze. Class tensions touched him. She served but dreamed escape from rot's shadow, haunting half-breeds more viciously. The throne room awaited grandeur, now lit by essence orbs floating like damned stars. The king alone, sprawl of muscle and malice, no guards. Power dynamic shifted intimate. Father testing son not in spectacle but shadows. You hide depths, boy. Voice gravel amusement edged. Astrum bowed minimal. Depths serve the crown. Lie smooth, internal, serve, I'll eclipse it. The king chuckled, rumble shaking goblets of blood wine. Your brother's scheme. Draven most eager, he leads the vanguard against the celestial breach, a rift-vomiting angel legions, essence rich but deadly. Join him, prove loyalty. Command wrapped in velvet. Astrum parsed it. Bait. Walk into ambush, absorb the loyalty test, or refuse and paint target larger. Emotions stirred caution, laced excitement. Competition amped. Rift Wars decided Empire's souls harvested en masse, fueling the strong. I go father. Acceptance tactical. The king nodded approval thin. Infinite. I sense it. A vessel without end. Wield it for me or break upon it. Dismissal came wave of hand shadows parting for exit. Astrum strode out, pulse steady, infinite. The word lingered, his secret aired but weaponized. Now the real dance began. Corridors buzzed alive with spies. Astrum felt eyes, Kale's illusions shimmering faint. He pushed through to Outer Bailey where Draven's legion mustered. Black-armored shadows drilled in formations, essence crackling. The prince himself barked orders from a dais voice whip crack. Spotting Astrum, he paused, grin wolfish. Little brother graces us. Come to carry packs? Snickers from ranks. Thorn loomed nearby, arms crossed. Kale lounged casual, but threads of deceit wove air. Astrum met the jabs cool. Came to carry victories. bold. Light Gen Z edge slipping in thought. You pricks couldn't carry a tune. Dialogue sparse escalation in stares. Draven stepped close, aura pressing like weight. Last night, my hound dust. Say you, accusation hung. Astrum shrugged, shadows twitching involuntary. Dust finds its way. Challenge accepted. The Legion marched rift ward portals ripping open to fractured battlefields. Environment shifted brutal. Skies torn crimson lightning forking into abyssal trenches. Angel hosts gleamed distant wings, slicing clouds' essence pure and searing. Demons charged roars, drowning thunder. Power dynamics exploded. Legion versus heaven fodder versus elite. Astrum embedded mid-ranks vessel humming on kills. First Angel Scout Dove spear holy fire. He absorbed mid-clash light essence clashing with shadows in ecstatic burn. Tear nudge, infinite stretch. Brothers watched hawk-eyed. Draven signaled subtle. Archers loosing stray bolts his way. Astrum twisted vessel pulling the arcane bolts into fuel. Missed, he called loud. Laughter from ranks undercutting pure line pride. Class tensions simmered, fiends cheering the upstart. Thorn charged a host, bellowing rage, but faltered wing strike grazing. Astrum intervened shadow whip, yanking the angel down for the kill. Shared essence, brief pulse linking cores. Thorn grunted thanks grudging. Not useless then. Battle-crested chaos rifts belched more foes, celestial knights in radiant plate essence storms raging, Draven orchestrated from rear illusions from Kael cloaking flanks. But a breach yawned wide, vomiting archangels tier 5 horrors, Legion buckled screams essence harvesting brutal, social order frayed, lessers fleeing nobles holding line in arrogance. Astrum saw opening, vessel screamed hunger. He plunged in shadows, exploding to net a wing. The archangel turned divine light blasting. He drank it raw conversion, agonizing but transformative. Light joined shadows, birthing dusk affinity hybrid, unholy. Power spiked brothers staring slack. Draven's face paled. What is he? The tide turned. Astrum's aura ballooned, pulling stray essence like magnet. Demons rallied, feeding off the surge. Angels faltered, holy lines cracking under bottomless pull. Victory snatched, blood-soaked. Back in campfires flickered low. Brothers circled tent, Draven's voice steel. Explain the vessel runt. Confrontation raw. Astrum leaned, firelit calm. Infinite, father's gift. Half-truth. Internal, you're poison too, assholes. Thorn growled, join us or... Threat hung. Kael smiled silk. Family first. Dialogue crackled tension electric. Astrum stood shadows pooling. Family devours together. Acceptance laced warning. They backed off, uneasy alliance forged in fear. Nights blurred into war's grind. Astrum's legend grew whispers of the bottomless prince rippling through ranks. Class barriers cracked. Half-breeds seeking his banner, dreaming equality in shared essence. Wrought fears eased, his absorptions neutralized spores, turning plague to power. Competition evolved brothers, probing limits with tests, ambushes veiled as drills. He consumed each, proving endless. One eve post-raid, Draven cornered him alone, cliffs overlooking rift scars. Wind howled, essence storms distant. You're no weakling, but crown's mine. Venom pure, Astrum met gaze vessel stirring. We'll see. No fight, yet. Emotions churned, rivalry kin deep, but Han-Gyeol's betrayal scarred trust thin. Return to palace heralded triumph. King awaited throne aglow with harvested souls. You return whole. Stronger. Praise rare. Astrum knelt core thrumming. For the empire, lie for himself. Court assembled brothers sullen. Whispers peaked. He rivals Draven. Tensions peaked, social fractures widening, revolts brewing in lower pits inspired by the vessel air. In chambers alone, Astrum traced brands glowing on skin. Infinite vessel pulsed map of absorbed paths. Shadow light, dusk rage, illusion, bottomless. The path ahead? Devour the throne. Brothers first. You know what I reckon? This rebirth, best damn respawn ever. Sweat-slicked palms gripped the guild's respawn crystal one last time. Han-Gyeol's vision swam in pixelated haze. That bitch Alara, the raid's golden DPS, had loosed her holy bolt straight into his back. Oops, lag spike. She'd laughed her voice syrup over comms. The party wiped, but she pocketed the epic drop. Loser tank, that's all he was. Level 87 grindstone worn smooth. Betrayal burned hotter than any boss flame. He logged off, fists clenched. Fuck this meta, but the screen glitched black and pulled him under. No logout, just void. Awakening in the abyss had been brutal gift. Now, months deep into this demonic grind, Astrum stood at the iron gates of Pandemonium Academy. Spires clawed skyward, jagged obsidian laced with veins of molten iron. The air hummed thick with essence storms, perpetual haze that choked the weak. This wasn't school. It was Forge, elite crucible where demon spawn sharpened into weapons or shattered into slag. Only the strongest survived. Failures fed the underpits their souls harvested for class wards. To cement his throne claim, this was the arena. Royals like him needed proof beyond blood. Academy grads commanded legions. Dropouts, rot fodder. He tugged his hood low. No princely silks. Ragged commoner rags itched against skin now hardened by absorbed shadows. Hiding identity was smart play. Brothers, spies crawled these halls, dravens especially. Let them think the lost whelp rotted in exile. Pose as gutter spawn risen on grit. Internal fire flickered. You know what I reckon? This undercover shit's my best stealth build yet. The vessel thrummed quiet in his core, infinite hunger leashed but eager. Post-right it had gorged on rift scraps, but caps? Laughable now. He could swallow the Academy's trials whole. Gates groaned open on rusted hinges. Inside sprawled the courtyard, a vast basin ringed by blood-iron statues of past victors, their eyes glowing with trapped essences. New blood milled chaotic. Horned whelps from noble houses flashing aura flares to mark turf lesser demons in patched leathers snarling for space. Social classes clashed immediate. Pure lines strutted central dais claiming prime spots for orientation. Half-breeds clustered edges, eyes darting for scraps. Underclass grunts like his cover huddled furthest out invisible until provoked. Tension simmered raw. Academy fed on it. Competition was oxygen. Top ranks snagged mentors' rare artifacts, soul infusions. Bottom, quarantined to rot wards where disease gnawed unchecked, turning flesh to weeping sores. A horn blared guttural. Instructors marched in armored phalanx, their tears flaring mid-7 auras that bent light. Led was ironclad Vorith, a slab of demon muscle scarred from celestial purges. Voice boomed gravel. Fresh meat. Pandemonium forges kings or corpses. Power here earned in blood iron trials. Systems simple. Absorb essence, climb tiers. Fail the cull, and soul rot claims you. No mercy for weak blood. He scanned the crowd eyes lingering on clusters. World building hit hard. Academy's core was the Iron Codex, ancient law binding all. Demons awakened affinities, but here they fused them into ironclad paths. Fire with blade? Forge a hellsword. Shadow and speed? Become the reaper, but disease stalked every step. Rot thrived on imbalance over absorb, and your vessel cracked, letting plague in. Classes enforced it too. Nobles hoarded pure essences, while commons scrapped tainted scraps, fueling revolts that ended in arena executions. Astrum slipped into the underclass pack, head down, emotions coiled tight. Han-Gyeol's old grudges meshed with Astrum's princely spite. These whelps, mirrors of his guild days, flashy DPS preening while tanks bled quiet. A noble spawn shouldered past horns curling arrogant. Out away, scum! Astrum sidestepped, smooth vessel sipping the casual aura leak. Tiny boost, negligible, but habit. Power dynamics pulsed. Every brush a theft, every glance a probe. Orientation dragged into trials. First cull, essence gauge. Line snaked to obelisks, pulsing red. Touch one, channel your core. Weak flares, booted to labor pits. Strong, advance. Whispers rippled. Heard last batch lost 30 to rot surge. Astrum cued last watching. A half-breed girl ahead trembled her flare, sputtering blue ice faint. Instructor sneered. Tainted, pit-bound. She crumpled tears hissing on stone. Class cruelty on display. Pure lines laughed, hoarding the obelisk's recharge. Astrum stepped up palm flat. He dialed it low, just enough violet flicker to pass as common grit, murmurs noted. Not bad for gutter. Inside, barely warmed up. Deeper in the Academy's gut sprawled the trial hall's cavernous vaults lit by hellfire braziers. Air grew furnace-hot walls, sweating iron droplets. First real test loomed. Trial of the Hellfire Pillar. Central to the forge path, a monolith of compressed flame essence towering 30 feet, wreathed in eternal inferno. Touch it, climb. Absorb the burn without shattering. Record stood at 12 minutes 14 seconds, held by Draven's lackey 2 years back. Shatter it. Instant legend or ash. Crowd packed the viewing ledge, a sea of horns and fangs bets flying. Nobles lounged upper tiers, sipping essence drafts that spiked their odds. Commons pressed rails, hope flickering. Instructors circled Vorith, barking rules. Pillar tests vessel purity. Fire strips illusions, reveals the core. Climb or combust, no aids, begin. First up, a burly Pureline boy, fangs bared, confident. He slapped the base palm, searing immediate. Flames licked up his arms, aura flaring gold. He grunted assent, slow muscles bulging. Crowd cheered, polite. 2 minutes in, cracks spidered, his skin essence leaking. He hit 8 feet, wavered, dropped, gasping. Adequate, Vorath grunted. Next, a sly half-breed girl wove shadow threads to shield, but fire ate them clean. She screamed down at 4 feet, blisters bubbling. Rot whispers started, her taint rejecting the purity. Astrum's turn crept close. Emotions stirred, cold focus laced with thrill. This wasn't raid filler, it was statement. Hidden prince or not, his vessel craved the blaze. A noble jeered his way. Gutter next! Make it quick, comedy! Laughter barked. Astrum ignored, climbing the queue silent. Internal. You pricks love your spotlights. Watch mine eclipse. He reached the pillar heat, slamming like open forge. Braziers roared, sympathy flames dancing wild. The monolith pulsed, alive veins of liquid fire throbbing. Touch it, and the trial locked. No retreat till drop or peak. Astrum exhaled steady. Han-Gyeol's gamer brain mapped it. Aggro the flame, draw it in. Vessel yawned subtle. Palms met stone. Explosion. Fire surged, not burn but flood. Essence, pure scorching, poured into his channels. Pain lanced white hot, but the infinite pit drank deep. No cap, no rejection. He climbed hand over hand, veins glowing molten under skin. Crowd hushed initial, then buzzed. 1 minute steady. Flames coiled around him, not consuming but feeding. His aura flickered violet-black shadows, weaving into the inferno, birthing smoke essence hybrid. You wouldn't believe this, it's like chugging lava and asking for seconds. At 5 minutes, nobles shifted uneasy. The boy who'd gone first paled. He's integrating it? Whispers spread fast. Vorith's eyes narrowed, appraising. Power dynamics tilted subtle. Commons leaned in breaths, held half-breeds whispering uprising. Astrum pushed higher, 10 feet now, sweat hissing to steam. Internal monologue raced, old life flashes. Ilara's bolt searing similar, but this, empowerment. No betrayal sting, just rise. 8 minutes. Record loomed. Fire intensified, roaring winds of flame buffeting, his rags charred, edges crumbling. But skin held flawless vessel, converting agony to fuel. A crackle built in his core, new affinity blooming. Hell smoke, thick and choking. He inhaled it, aura expanding, tendrils lashing the pillar, drawing more. Crowd erupted, gasps. 11! He's breaking it! Nobles surged to railings, faces twisting. A Pureline girl with emerald horns spat. Cheat, commons can't, but Vorath silenced her glare. Just witness, Astrum hit 12 feet 14 seconds exactly, then surged past. Flames bent to him, coiling like serpents loyal. 13, 14, peak loomed 20 feet, summit orb of compressed sunfire. He grasped it, hands sinking in. The vessel gorged, explosion silent but seismic. Visions assaulted, pillars forging from ancient wars. Souls of fire lords bound eternal. He absorbed threads, power spiking, tear nudge clean. Drop came controlled. He slid down, wreathed in dying embers, landing light. Silence deafened, then shattered cheers from below. Pureline stunned. Vorath boomed. Record 16 minutes 7 seconds. Name? Astrum straightened, hood slipping faint. Astrum. Common stock. Lie smooth. Reactions cascaded. Commons roared. Underclass fire lit eyes gleaming with rare hope. Half-breeds clustered closer, murmuring alliance sense. Nobles huddled glares, venomous social tensions igniting. This wasn't just climb, it was fracture, a gutter rat topping pure line legacies, revolt bait. He strode from the hall essence, humming fresh in veins. Emotions crested vindication sharp as hell smoke's bite, but deeper old scars itched. Past life echoes. That loser tag Ilara pinned him with, here flipped. Trial block bled into free forge. Smithies clanged distant hammers on soul anvils. Astrum claimed a corner bench low-key etching runes on scrap iron to vent excess heat. Classmates orbited cautious. A half-breed boy sidled up, horns chipped. That was insane. Name's Grit. You just fucked the hierarchy. Light profanity bonded quick Gen Z edge in the kid's grin. Astrum nodded faint. Just climbing. Dialogue sparse but loaded. Internal, first recruit, maybe. Tension spiked when she entered. Ilara, or Lyra, now demonic twist on her old self. Reincarnated hero bullshit. Same golden hair, cropped short, same emerald eyes sharp with judgment. She'd crossed over, too apparently rift-torn from his world into this one. Last life, raid queen who'd called him deadweight. Tank harder loser, her taunt before the backstab. Here, she strode pure line poise, aura, flaring holy light taint masked as celestial graft. Academy prized it. Heroes Reborn fetched premium for anti-demon purges. She didn't glance his way. Why would she? Hooded commoner, beneath notice. But Astrum saw her. Emotions crashed, rage cold and coiled, laced with dark amusement. You know what I reckon? Karma's got a hellfire sense of humor. She claimed a forge nearby, barking orders at lesser attendants. Infuse this blade. Pure light, no shadows. Her voice lilted command, same as comms. A common boy fumbled, the ingot dropped it sparking. She sighed dramatic. Useless, like old raid scrubs. Echo hit him visceral. He rose, subtle shadows trailing faint. Forge work called. Shaped the absorbed essence into form. His hell smoke coalesced, smoky blade half-formed humming. Lyra noticed then, brow furrowing. You, the climber, what's that? Curiosity edged suspicion. Power dynamics probed. She ranked high pre-trial, her light affinity, top tier for commons but noble-backed. Astrum met her eyes cool. Tool for cutting bullshit. Light jab Gen Z slip profanity veiled. She blinked recognition absent just intrigue. Bold for gutter, show me. He extended the blade, smoke coiling lazy. She grasped it, tested swing. Light clashed with smoke sparks divine. And her aura flared, testing dominance, but his vessel sipped the leak seamless. Blade held bent to his will. She yanked back, eyes widening faint. How? It's hungry. Primal unease flickered. First crack in her hero poise. Astrum shrugged, internal smirk. Hero my ass, still blind to the ghost you killed. Crowd drew subtle classmates circling. Grit whispered hot. That's Lyra the Riftborn. Says she fought gods up top. Whispers built world-building layers. Reincarnates were wildcard souls yanked from other realms, often packing forbidden affinities. Celestial grafts, like hers. Gold for academy wars against lower rifts. But tensions brewed. Pure demons resented the impure imports, fearing they'd tip class scales. Lyra ignored the stares, focusing Astrum. Join my forge group. We need edge. Offer-laced command. Social dominance peak. Heroes pulled strings easy. Astrum paused, vessel purring on her leaked essence. Emotions boiled, calculated, accept and probe. Decline and bait. Maybe, if you don't lag. Old grudge slipped dialogue low. She laughed sharp, missing the barb. Lag? Never heard that. You're weird, climber. Blind still, but seed planted unease. Days blurred into forge grind. Academy's rhythm brutal. Dawn essence drills, noon trials, dusk calls. Astrum's record rippled waves. Instructors summoned him private. Voreth in office thick with iron dust. Calm in my ass, that vessel? Bottomless. Probe direct. Astrum blanked. Just hungry, sir. Voreth grunted respect thin. Hunger kills or crowns. Watch flanks. Warning-laced intel, nobles plotted accidents for upstarts. Power systems exposed, Academy tracked tiers via Codex brands glowing on wrists. His ticked-up post-pillar Tier 2 hell smoke locked. Commons gawked brands usually stalled at 1. Classmates shifted orbit. Grit stuck close, sharing scraps of lower pit lore. Rot surges worse there, diseased whelps coughing essence turning to sludge. "You're shaking it," he said, awe raw. Half-breeds trailed bolder, forming loose pack. A girl with stunted wings confessed quiet. "Pure lines, colas, and shadows, you're proof." Social tensions voiced. Academy mirrored empire fractures. Revolts simmered underclass dreaming vessel heirs to topple thrones. Lyra's group pulled him in reluctant. Forge sessions turned tense theater. She led 4, 2 nobles flashy with fire spears, 1 half-breed healer, and him the wild card. "How sink essences," she barked, mid-drill blades clashing in mock rift sim. Her light flared, dominant washing shadows. But Astrum's hellsmoke resisted, coiled back thicker. Nobles sneered. "Gutter taints the flow." Lyra waved them off, eyes on him sharper. "Ignore, he's efficient." Praise grudging, but her unease grew. Each clash his vessel nipped her leaks, converting light to dusk hybrid. She felt it drain subtle vitality, waning post-spar. 1 eve post-drill hall, emptied braziers dimming to embers. Lyra lingered, wiping sweat blade, humming faint. "You're not common. What are you?" Direct now suspicion peaked. Astrum cleaned his forge casual. Emotions crested, confront or conceal. "Survivor, like you." Hint dropped. She stepped closer, aura probing light threads, seeking truths. Vessel snapped them up, effortless. Her face paled, primal fear flashing raw. "You absorb, like the void." Recognition ghosted no memory but instinct. Heroes knew voids from old wars. He leaned in, voice low. "Ever backstab a tank? Feels familiar." Cryptic. She froze, breath hitching. "What?" Dialogue crackled, conflict electric. Internal, "Not yet, bitch." But soon, she backed off shaken. "Stay away from my light." Warning hollow, first dominance mark. Hero quaking before the loser. Word spread. Classmates whispered, "Void climber." Fear took root. Primal, not awe. Nobles avoided his bench eyes darting. Half-breeds sought boons. "Teach the pull?" Grit joked nervous. "You're scaring the elites, man." "Fuck yeah." Gen Z levity cut tension, but drama escalated. A pure-line thug cornered him in steam vents, post-bath haze thick. "Know your place, gutter." Fist-cocked, aura raging. Astrum sidestepped, vessel yawning. Thug's punch grazed, pulled in whole. He staggered, drained. "What the hell?" Astrum's response cold. Fist to gut, hell smoke burrowing. Thug dropped, wheezing essence leaking. "Stay down." No kill. Message. Vorith hauled him to chambers later. Brawl? Sloppy. But grin cracked stone face. Efficient though. Join Vanguard trials. Real rifts wait. Offer throne bait. Vanguard grads led purges against celestial incursions. Essence halls massive. Astrum accepted, head bowed. Internal, step closer to crown. Lyra watched from shadows, face ashen. Her group fractured nobles bailing, void taint. She approached, solo forge cold. "You're dangerous." Admission laced fear. Astrum forged on smoke blade sharpening. "So are heroes, blind ones especially." Sting landed. She flinched, old life echo haunting unspoken. "I don't know you, but I should fear you." Vulnerability cracked her shell, primal instinct winning. He turned, eyes locking. "You will." Promise dark. She fled, hall echoes fading. Class dominance solidified. Whispers turned to bows from edges. Commons chanted his name in underdrills. Half-breeds etched his brand in secret tattoos. Social fractures widened, nobles plotting in upper spires. Codex alerts spiking on uprising risks. Rot fears twisted too. Some swore his void mocked the plague immune, pulling diseased essences clean. Night fell academy quiet but for distant clangs. Astrum perched ledge overlooking pits glow faint from labor fires. Emotions settled, steel resolve laced with bitter mirth. Han-Gyeol's voice inner, "From raid trash to fearmonger, best arc drop." Vessel purred full on, days thefts affinities layering. Hell smoke, dusk light threads. Bottomless, throne, one shatter at a time. Dawn broke iron red. Vanguard muster called horns wailing. Astrum joined ranks hood low, but aura whispering. Lyra stood opposite line eyes, avoiding primal dread etched deep. Instructors barked formations, rift portals ripping. First purge, minor breach spewing imp swarms, charge, hit chaos blades singing, Astrum waited in vessel feasting on stray blasts, efficiency cold. Imps shredded shadows pulling souls mid-air. Classmates gaped, grit whooped close. You're a monster, bro. Nobles faltered his wake, clearing paths unintended. Lyra's light flared heroic sweeping clusters, but her glances flicked his way haunted. An imp alpha lunged, her flank claws raking. She twisted, bolt loosing but slow. Astrum's shadow whip snapped out, yanking the beast into dust. Shared kill essence, pulse linking brief. She stared, breath ragged. Why? Dialogue breathless. He shrugged, stepping past. Efficiency. No warmth. Fear deepened her eyes. Old down look flipped to survival instinct. Purge ended blood-soaked. Back in halls, Vorth clapped his shoulder rare. Dominance starts here, boy. Keep it. Word spread wider. Void Climber claims Vanguard top. Tensions peaked, nobles sending gifts. Poisoned ingots that his vessel turned to buffs. Half-breeds rallied loose under his unwitting banner dreams of class flip. Lyra, isolated now, her hero shine dimmed whispers calling her Void's shadow. One final clash brewed. Forge duel voluntary but loaded. Lyra challenged public, prove the fear wrong. Crowd packed triple usual bets, savage. Power dynamics climax. Hero versus climber, pure versus hidden. Astrum accepted cool. Arena circle etched runes binding essences. She entered radiant blade holy fire. He planed smoke coiling, bell tolled. She lunged light exploding. End this! Desperation edged. Astrum parried vessel drinking the blaze conversion seamless. Smoke met light birthing eclipse burst that blinded stands. She reeled shock raw. Impossible! He pressed advanced strikes precise no waste. Each block siphoned her core vitality, paling her glow. Emotions peaked, his rage old but channeled cold. Hers terror, pure hero facade crumbling. Final clash, her bolt, point-blank divine spear. He absorbed full chest blooming with stolen radiance. Aura hybrid, now violet gold unstoppable. She dropped knees spent. Silence crashed then, underclass roar. Vorath declared. Climber claims. No blood, just broken. Lyra looked up, eyes wide recognition, ghosting faint. You knew me, whisper lost in din. Astrum loomed shadow long. Always did. Turn away, dominance sealed. Fear spread viral classmates, parting paths, whispers primal. Academy bent subtle, throne inch closer. In chambers alone he traced wrist brand glowing tier 3 now. Infinite stretched wider. You wouldn't believe this, but social throne? Mine. Fuck the old loser life. This empire. The guild chat exploded in red. Han-Gyeol stared at the betrayal log. Ilara's bolt had pierced his shield like paper. Lag again? My bad tank. Her voice still echoed in his skull while the party looted the boss without him. Level 87 down the drain. He slammed a log out, but the screen warped, pulled him into the abyss instead. Death, reborn as prince. Now the grind continued, only deadlier. Pandemonium Academy's horns blared at dawn. Mandatory expedition, void rift. Every cadet deployed in squads to harvest essence or die trying. Competition peaked here. Top clearers earned codex marks that unlocked forbidden vaults. Bottom squads? Wrought quarantine? Astrum stood in formation, hood low. Rag still marked him common, but the aura whispers had changed. Classmates gave wide berth. Lyra, his rival turned reluctant subordinate, flanked him eyes downcast. The duel had broken her hero shine. She followed now, orders clipped. Grit hovered nearby, chipped horns bobbing nervous excitement. Nobles in the squad sneered from distance, pure lines resenting the Void Climber's pull on the ranks. Vorth barked assignments. Void Rift spits high demon beasts. Essence veins run thick, but traps guard secrets. Systems reward the bold. Absorb clean or the rot claims your vessel. World building hit fast. Rifts were empire lifelines. Tiers between realms leaking raw magic. Void Rift, deepest and deadliest warped space with sealed relics from ancient wars. First Demon King had bound horrors here, pacts forged in blood to fuel his rise. Disease thrived in the mist. Rot spores feeding on failed absorbers. Social tensions boiled squads split. Nobles hoarded safe veins. Commons risked the fringes for scraps. Competition cutthroat. Squad leaders claimed kills for personal tiers. Squad marched through the portal. Air turned thick void mist coiling like smoke. Ground cracked obsidian glowing faint purple. Beasts howled distant. Astrum felt the vessel stir infinite hunger sensing untapped flows. Emotions coiled tight. Han-Gyeol's old raid instincts kicked in, mapping the terrain like a dungeon run. Lyra matched pace blade, humming light, essence faint. Stay close, climber. Her voice, low command, frayed at edges. Subordinate now, but pride lingered. Grit grinned, shaky. This place gives me the creeps. You reckon we hit big essence today? They pushed deeper, traps activated fast, pressure plates hissed, acid essence sprays. A noble tripped first, flesh-melting screams short, squad scattered reactions, raw panic in commons, awe in nobles. Astrum dodged instinctive past life knowledge flashing, similar spike traps in old game abyssal runs. He called low, left wall safe, follow the cracks. Lyra obeyed without question, grit stuck tight, power dynamics shifted subtle, his lead unquestioned now, fear and respect mixing. Deeper still, the mist thickened, hiding a side fissure. Astrum spotted it anomaly in the flow. Vessel pulled him toward it like magnet. He slipped in, squad trailing wary. Chamber opened, hidden vault walls etched with first Demon King's runes, pulsing sealed memories. Air hummed ancient power. Central altar held the ego blade of ruin. A black iron sword humming with ego will bound. Legend said it chose wielders or devoured them. Traps ringed it. Soul leeches invisible until triggered essence drains that left husks. Lyra froze. Forbidden. Codex bans this. Grit swallowed hard. We shouldn't. Nobles behind pushed eager for glory. Astrum stepped forward, internal monologue racing. Past life knowledge clicked. Raid puzzles from forgotten DLCs. Patterns matched exactly lever sequences. Runes avoided by timing essence pulses. He moved precise, bypassing leeches with sidesteps timed to heartbeats. Vessel sipped stray drains, turning poison to fuel. You know what I reckon? This is just another speed run. Only the stakes are souls. Lyra watched, eyes wide. How do you know the paths? Dialogue sparse, tension thick. Astrum grunted. Old ghosts. He reached the altar, hand closing on the blade hilt. Synchronization hit like lightning. Ego surged into his mind, ancient king's voice whispering pacts, sealed memories flooding, wars devoured gods, empires built on ruin. Vessel roared open, absorbing the blade's will. No rejection. Integration seamless. Surge exploded. Levels cascaded, notifications invisible but felt in core. Infinite vessel evolved. Devourer of gods class unlocked. Power multiplied, bottomless pit widening to swallow divine essences whole. His aura flared, violet black, edged with ruin gold. Body trembled, ecstasy pain blending. Emotions peaked, vindication sharp. Old loser tank now held god-eating potential. Lyra staggered back, primal fear flashing raw, grit dropped to knees. What the fuck are you? Outside chamber, a roar shook the rift. High demon beast burst through mist. Titan form horns like Scythe's body wreathed in void fire tier 8 horror. Squad panicked, nobles fleeing, commons frozen. The beast locked on Lyra, closest target, claws raking air. She raised blade light, flaring desperate, but essence low from earlier traps. Climber cry broke her poise. Astrum moved blur. Devourer class active, he blurred across chamber vessel, yawning wide. Beast's swipe connected, but essence poured into him, conversion instant. Pain lanced, but fuel ignited. He drew the ego blade, first time ruin energy coiling around edge. Strike precise blade sinking into beast flank. It howled essence draining into Astrum's core. Levels ticked further, class solidifying. Lyra watched, mouth agape. He saved her, no hesitation. Beast thrashed, tail whipping, but Astrum absorbed the momentum, turning it against the creature. Final plunge blade through core. High demon collapse, dust scattering. Squad stared, silence broken by gasps. Nobles backed away, eyes terror struck. One whispered, unranked. He's unranked. Fear spread viral. Codex had no tear for this power. Primal dread rooted deep. Grit rose shaky. You just ate a high demon whole. Awe-laced terror. Lyra sheathed blade hands trembling. That power. It's not demon, it's more. Subordinate bond tightened her rivalry, crushed under weight of debt and fear. She knelt brief. Thank you. Voice cracked. Astrum nodded cool. Efficiency. Internal. Old backstabber now owes me. Sweet. Reactions cascaded. Squad fractured nobles reporting back. Whispers of void god-eater spreading. Commons rallied closer, seeing hope in unranked rise. Social tensions ignited. Pure lines plotting isolation, half-breeds dreaming upheaval. Competition evolved. His lead undisputed, but eyes watched for weakness. Wrought fears twisted to some swore. His devour mocked the plague, pulling diseased flows clean. Expedition pressed on, but aura changed. Beasts avoided his path, essence veins bent toward him. Lyra stayed close subordinate, now questions burning unspoken. Grit chattered nervous. You reckon the king will hear of this? Astrum shrugged, vessel purring content on fresh god-touched essence. Devourer class hummed infinite promise, gods next on menu. Rift exit loomed portal glowing. Vorith waited outside, eyes appraising. Clear report. Astrum handed essence cores silent. Instructor noted the blade at his side. Forbidden relic, dangerous, warning heavy, but respect flickered. Power dynamics tilted, academy-wide rumors would fly. Throne claims strengthened one step closer. Back in chambers, Astrum traced the ego blade hilt, whispering memories still settling. Emotions settled, steel resolve laced with dark mirth. Han-Gyeol's voice inner, from raid scrub to god devourer, best fucking patch ever. You wouldn't believe this, but the old world lag, gone. This, Empire endgame. Lyra knocked, later entering hesitant. That beast, you didn't have to save me. Dialogue loaded, Astrum cleaned blade casual. Subordinates don't die on my watch. She met eyes, fear lingering but loyalty budding. What are you really? Probe deep, he paused. Ruin. Simple truth, night fell, academy quiet. Squad bonds tightened around him, commons seeking guidance, nobles avoiding. Class fractures deepened, underclass tattoos now bearing ruin sigil secret. Rot wards reported fewer cases, his presence somehow stabilizing flows. Competition raged in other squads, envy brewing ambushes planned in shadows. Astrum perched ledge overlooking rifts. Vessel stretched devourer class mapping new affinities, ruin threads weaving with hellsmoke dusk light, bottomless. First, Demon King's memories lingered pacts, ancient offering paths to greater seals. He grinned faint, path clear, brothers would tremble soon. Lyra's debt secured one more piece. Dawn muster called new expeditions looming. Astrum joined ranks, blade concealed but aura whispering. Squads parted paths, fear primal. Vorith nodded rare approval. Lead them climber. Order accepted. Internal lead. I'll consume. Expedition rhythm resumed but shifted. Astrum's efficiency cleared paths faster. Essence halls doubled. Lyra synced strikes her light, now laced with his shadow threads. Hybrid born of debt. Grit scouted ahead, reporting traps, his trust absolute. Nobles trailed, distant plotting but powerless. A rival squad clashed paths, competition flaring. Their leader Pureline challenged. Gutter leads, step aside. Astrum drew blade ruin flaring. Single glance beast-level pressure dropped the challenger knees. Fear spread faster. Hidden chamber echoes lingered, first king's voice faint in mind. Devour rise. Pact sealed. Surge had unlocked tiers, unranked codex glitching on his brand. Academy buzzed, codex alerts spiking, anomaly. Social dominance solidified, underclass chanting, ruin prints in underhalls. Half-breeds rallied, dreams of class purge. Pure lines isolated, revolts brewing. Lyra cornered him post-drill. The power you hide, it terrifies me. Admission raw. Astrum met gaze. Good, fear keeps you alive. Dialogue crackled, emotions high. Her past judgment flipped to dependence. She nodded, turning away. Grit later joked light. Bro, you ate a high demon-like snack. Fucking legendary. Gen Z levity cut drama, but underlay tension real. Reactions escalated. Vorith summoned private. King's spies ask about you. Hide or claim. Warning clear. Astrum chose claim subtle. Rift runs continued, each yielding essence, but his vessel craved more. Devourer pulled god-touched leaks from beasts, hinting greater horror sealed deeper. Emotions crested anticipation laced vindication. Old betrayal faded against new hunger. One final push squad hit major vein. High demon swarm ambushed. Chaos blades clanged. Astrum stood, center blade drawn. Ruin energy exploding, swarms drained into him, levels ticking, class evolving further. Squad watched, awe-terror blending. Lyra fought beside him, strikes synced perfect. Together, her word loaded, he nodded, saving her again from flank strike. Clear ended bloodless for them. Back at Academy, cheers mixed fear. Word reached brothers, distant spires, Draven's rage brewing. Throne path heated. In solitude, Astrum synced deeper, with ego blade memories unfolding. First king's fall, packs broken, gods devoured. Vessel drank it all, devourer of gods, title fit. Infinite no longer, cosmic. You know what I reckon? This chapter, just the start. Fuck the old limits, empire mine. The guild's victory screen flickered mocking. Han-Gyeol's corpse cooled in the raid instance. Ilara's laugh cut through static. Tanked like a noob. GG scrub. She'd funneled the aggro, then loosed that fatal bolt. Loot split without him. Level 87 reset to dust. He punched the desk screen, cracking. Betrayal's taste, bitter as cheap energy drinks. Logout failed. Void swallowed him whole. Rebirth as prince. Now the real raids waited bloodier. Pandemonium Academy's spires loomed under eclipse skies. Months blurred since the Rift Hall. Astrum's brand glowed Tier 5 unranked codex glitching on Devourer class. Whispers chased him void god-eater ruin prince. Lyra trailed loyal blade, synced to his shadows. Grit scouted flanks, chipped horns bobbing. Nobles avoided wide arcs, fear primal. Vorith pulled him aside post-drill. Festival summons climber. Eclipse right. High Council presides. Warning edged gravel voice. Astrum nodded cool. Internal festival? Sounds like a trap wrapped in fireworks. Eclipse festival hit empire-wide. Grand Coliseum in capital sprawled, obsidian basin ringed by blood iron obelisks pulsing with bound souls. Skies darkened, perpetual umbra from celestial seals warring with abyssal core. Air thick with essence incense masking rot spores that spiked during alignments. Thousands packed tears demons from all strata, pure-line nobles in rune-etched armor, half-breeds in scavenged leathers, underclass grunts clutching talismans, social classes layered visible upper boxes for council elites, mid for generals, lower pits for fodder. Tensions crackled raw. Festival doubled as cull. Winners claimed essence tithes, losers fed the obelisks powering rift barriers. Competition savage, rights tested loyalties, blood oaths, sealed pacts that bound souls to the crown. Astrum arrived incognito hood low, ego blade, concealed under rags. Assigned to vanguard, lead generals under him now, per king's decree, post-rift glory. Power dynamics twisted. He commanded brutes who'd crushed legions. Lyra flanked, tight eyes scanning. Council's gaze heavy. Watch the wines. Grit muttered low. You reckon they're jealous of your glow-up? Light jab cut tension, but Astrum felt it vessels stirring on ambient flows. Devourer hummed mimicry trait blooming from First King's memories. Echo skills absorbed not just essence but forms techniques whole. High Council assembled dais of throne stone 9 elders' horns crowned in soul shards. Lead was Elder Vexer Draven's uncle, face-etched malice. They feared him, rapid tears, unranked surge, threatening pure line holds. Whispers pre-festival, the whelp devours too fast. Eclipse demands balance. Plot broods subtle frame him treasonous pact with celestial spies. Evidence planted forged seal in his chamber's rift-torn light essence mimicking Lyra's graft. Betrayal orchestrated grand to cull the anomaly. Festival ignited braziers roaring violet flames. Rites opened with oath circle. Astrum stepped central generals circling hulks in warplate auras, tier 7 flaring. Thorn commanded one flank fist's crackling rage essence. Kale wove illusions from rear threads deceptive. Draven absent, but his shadow loomed, Vexor's nod signal. Chance rose, empire him binding loyalties. Astrum channeled vessel sipping the collective pulse. Emotions coiled, anticipation laced old grudge echoes. These generals? Guild vets who'd backstab for drops. Here, same game, deadlier stakes. Oath-peaked blood spilled into central font. Seal activated glowing crimson. Then twist. Font erupted light essence, pure celestial taint flooding the circle. Accusation boomed, Vexor's voice amplified. Treason! The climber pacts with heaven's dogs! Seal his soul! Generals froze, reactions raw. Shock, then fury. Lyra drew blade light, clashing with planted glow. Lies! Her cry drowned in din. Guards surged, chains soulbound, snapping toward Astrum. Crowd gasped, tears erupting, chaos underclass cheering, upset pure lines, hissing plots confirmed. Astrum dodged first chain vessel, yanking the essence pull. Internal fire raged. You know what I reckon? These fucks scripted my wipe. Devourer activated mimicry, scanning attackers' forms. He blurred forward, ego blade drawn, ruin edge humming. First, General lunged Thorn's second rage beast aura, exploding fists like meteors. Strike connected glancing, but Astrum absorbed the impact form echoing in core. Rage technique mirrored instant, his own fists bloating crimson. Counter landed solid, cracking the General's guard ribs, shattering. Beast dropped, wheezing, essence leaking. How? Gasp cut short. Crowd roared, lower pits wild. Power dynamics shattered. Commanded generals turned foes, now underclass saw revolution. Vexor bellowed from dais, slay the traitor. More charged Kale's illusionist, weaving phantom blades, air shimmering deceptive. Astrum waited in vessel, drinking the thread's form's imprinting. Mimicry surged, illusions blooming from his hands, multiples self-decoys confusing the caster. Kale staggered, eyes wide. My weave. Through stolen. Astrum closed, real blade slicing clean through illusion core. General crumpled threads unraveling. Fear rippled ranks primal. Unranked power, not just raw, but adaptive thief of arts. Lyra fought beside him, light bolts covering flanks. They're all in! Betrayal stung her voice, hero past, echoing. Grit bashed a guard-chipped axe, swinging wild. Fuck this setup! Profanity bonded squad tight, but numbers pressed generals reforming phalanx ultimate forms activating. Led was General Corvath Thorn's Kin Blade Storm Essence Tier 8 Whirlwind of Void Steel. He spun into Astrum barrier winds, shredding stone. Impact jarred, but Devourer gorged on the spin form, mapping precise. Astrum twisted mimicry perfect counterspin launching from his frame. Blade Storm reversed, slamming back into Corvath, shredding his own ranks. Generals scattered, blood spraying. Corvath howled, arms severed. Impossible mimic. Festival devolved, Colosseum alive with clashes. Obelisks pulsed, feeding on spilled essence, rot spores blooming faint, but Astrum's presence neutralized them. Devour pulling plague clean. Social tensions exploded, half-breeds surged barriers, aiding the ruin prince dreams of class purge igniting. Pure lines retreated, upper tiers, council panicking. Vexor signaled desperate archers, loosing soul arrows tipped with rot essence. Astrum leaped high vessel, yawning wide arrows, dissolving mid-flight forms, absorbed archery stance echoing. He rained counters, precise shafts piercing general helms. 3 dropped instant. Emotions crested rage cold, channeled Han-Gyeol's betrayal into precision. These pricks framed me like guild loot drama. Now they pay. Thorn himself charged mid-fray, bellowing from Brother's proxy. For the line! Rage ultimate ignited, body bloating berserker form horns, elongating muscles like forged iron. He barreled through Lyra's guard, slamming her aside, light flickering. She rolled, gasping, "Climber!" Cry desperate. Astrum intercepted vessel, feasting on the approach essence. Mimicry locked berserker echo, his frame swelling, temporary horns curling. Clash, thunderous fists met fists, shockwave cracking tears. Thorn grinned feral, "Match me, whelp." But Astrum adapted faster rage flow redirected into precision strikes. He turned the bloat against Thorn, compressing the form into choke point internal burst. General exploded from within gore painting sand. Silence brief, then underclass howl victory. Kale flanked illusion dome, enclosing Astrum Shadow's deceptive trapping. Inside, phantoms assailed old raid ghosts, Ilara's bolt flashing, taunting, mind tricks, but Vessel pierced them forms, stealing the weave. Astrum shattered the dome from within illusions, inverting on Kale's swarm of his own nightmares, devouring the caster. General screamed, fading to dust. Power superiority absolute, mimicry not copy, but evolution turning strengths to nooses. Lyra rose bloodied blade steady. Your unstoppable, awe-laced fear. Subordinate bond ironclad now. Council fractured Vexer fleeing, Deus guards turning on elders. Betrayal backfired, chaos spreading, festival rites forgotten. Astrum stood central, sand cratered, generals broken around him. Vessel purred full on stolen ultimates, new forms layering. Rage storm illusion burst, archery rage. Devourer stretched, cosmic infinite no more. Gods would kneel next. Emotions settled, triumph, vicious, laced with dark humor. You wouldn't believe this, but from framed tank to technique thief, respawn goals, crowd parted shadows stirring, Demon King emerged throne perch unseen till now, eyes burned forge hot, appraising the ruin, no words. Just nod, faint satisfaction curling lips. His son's evolution, ruthless, perfect for empire wars. Astrum met the gaze challenge unspoken. Internal, watching dad? Good, next act's yours to fear. Rites collapsed into aftermath. Guards knelt obelisks dimming on failed tithes. Lyra bandaged Grit's arm, voice low. Council's done. You lead now. Grit chuckled, pained. Bro, you turned their bullshit into your highlight reel. Fuck yeah. Levity pierced drama, but tensions lingered, pure lines, scattering plots, seeding deeper rifts. Social fractures widened, half-breeds claiming Colosseum edges, chanting ruin oaths. Rot spores wilted under his aura disease, bending to devour's will. Vorith arrived late, phalanx in tow. Climber, king's favor. Report clipped, but eyes gleamed respect. Power dynamics realigned. General's remnants swore fealty, broken frames. Astrum sheathed blade, cool. Efficiency. Word loaded. Internal. Lead them. I'll consume the disloyal. Festival embers dyed skies, lightening faint. Council remnants hauled in chains, Vexer's snarls defiant. The whelp unbalances. But King's shadow silenced him, claw wave. Astrum watched from Sand's vessel, mapping the elder's fear form subtle. Mimicry hungered even on defeat. Back in Vanguard tents, Lyra cornered him, firelit. That mimic, it's terrifying. Admission raw. Astrum cleaned blade casual. Force terrifying wins wars. Dialogue sparse, conflict simmering, her old hero pride clashing with loyalty. She nodded, turning away, eyes haunted. Grit later scouted reports. Spies say Draven rages, your bros plotting harder. Warning light, but real. Astrum traced Ego Blade memories, first King's packs echoing betrayal's cost. Emotions churned, resolve steel. Han-Gyeol's voice inner, framed again, predictable. But this time I flipped the script. Dawn broke crimson. Vanguard reformed under him, generals ghosts lingering in ranks. Competition evolved. Loyalists rose, challengers culled subtle. Academy halls buzzed his legend codex, updating anomaly tier unranked. Half-breeds rallied, banners ruin etched secret. Pure lines isolated revolts brewing lower pits. One eve post-march, Thorn's survivor approached tent hesitant. You took brother's form. Ooh, honorable? Probe edged. Astrum met eyes. Survival. Truth blunt. General knelt, fealty sworn. Power cemented. Eclipse's shadow faded, but betrayal's scar deepened. King's satisfaction unseen, hand guiding. Astrum perched, overlook Rift's vessel. Purring on new techniques layered, infinite. Devourer of gods, now technique reaper. Throne? One council at a time. You know what I reckon? This betrayal? Fuel. Fuck the frames. Evolution's mine. Squad drills resumed brutal. Astrum led charges mimicry, drilling stolen forms into ranks. Efficiency spiking. Lyra synced perfect light weaving with his ruin threads. Hybrid unstoppable. Grit joked mid-spar. "You're making us look bad, man." But eyes shone pride. Council trials loomed public executions but whispers of pardons for informants. Vexer spat in chains. Oh, the king breeds monsters. But king's gaze from throne cold, satisfied. Sun's ruthlessness mirrored his own rise. Rift patrols, amped post-festival essence halls doubled under new lead. Beasts fell faster, generals' techniques turned vanguard edge. Social dominance, viral underclass tattoos spreading ruined sigil open now. Rot wards emptied his presence, purging spores clean. Competition shifted rivals seeking alliance, fear winning. Draven's missive arrived, sealed, wax cracked. Brother, festival claims bold, meat neutral, bait laced. Astrum burned at vessel, sipping the ink's trace malice. Internal, neutral my ass. Your turn soon. King summoned private throne room shadows writhing. You evolve. Voice rumble approval thin, Astrum bowed minimal. For the crown. Lie smooth, monarch chuckled. Crown devours weak, prove. Dismissal wave. Chambers quiet, Astrum synced deeper. Ego blade techniques, unfolding generals' ultimates integrated seamless. Emotions crested, anticipation laced vindication. Old guild wipe faded. This betrayal, stepping stone. Night fell, capital stirring. Vanguard mustered new rights. Astrum joined ranks, blade humming, aura whispering. Lyra at side, grit flanking. Tensions peaked, but led undisputed. Festival's fire forged him sharper. One final clash echoed. Stray council assassin in alleys, dagger rot-tipped. Astrum absorbed the lunge form, mimicking strike reversed. Assassin dusted. Message sent. In solitude he grinned faint. Absolute superiority. King's watch? Welcome. Evolution ruthless. Empire next. The guild chat went dead silent. Han-Gyeol watched his health bar hit 0. Ilara's bolt had punched clean through his shield. Oops, my finger slipped tank. Her laugh echoed while the party split the loot. Level 87 erased. He slammed log out, but the screen pulled him into black. Betrayal tasted like rust. No respawn, just void. Rebirth came later. Now the throne room reeked of it all over again. Coup climax hit like a rift tear. The Demon King's throne chamber pulsed with obsidian walls veined in molten gold. Essence braziers roared, casting long shadows across the council floor. Blood pooled from slain guards. Draven stood, center blade drawn, rage aura flaring. Thorn flanked left berserker form, bloated. Kale wove illusions from right threads, deceptive. Elder Vexer and the High Council circled behind them, pure-line nobles in rune armor. All traitors, all hungry for the crown Astrum had claimed step by step. Lyra knelt bound beside the throne, light essence dimmed. Grit lay wounded, chipped horns cracked. The air hummed thick with rot spores blooming from spilled essence. Disease fed on chaos here. Systems rigid. Mana density decided dominance. Lower density bowed to higher. Competition had boiled over. Social classes fractured pure lines versus the vessel air. They struck tonight, festival betrayal fresh in memory. Astrum stood alone before the throne. Hood thrown back, ego blade humming at his side. Devourer class thrummed infinite but contained. Emotions crashed, old guild wipe mixing with abyssal rage. These pricks framed him twice. Now they came for the kill. You know what I reckon? Time to end the meta. Draven lunged first. Die whelp! Blade storm exploded. Void steel, whirlwind shredding stone. Thorn charged berserker fists, meteors. Kale's illusions swarmed phantom bolts raining. Council elders channeled unified seal crimson chains, soulbound snapping forward. Lyra cried out, "Climber!" Grit coughed blood. "Fuck them up!" Power dynamics peaked, traitors combined mana density overwhelming the chamber, but Astrum's vessel yawned wide. He didn't dodge, he unleashed. Demon King's authority fully awakened from First King's sealed memories. Skill bloomed invisible wave rippling outward. Every being of lower mana density slammed to knees. Draven dropped mid-lunge, blade clattering. Thorn's bloat deflated fists hitting floor. Kale's illusions shattered threads dissolving. Elders bowed foreheads cracking stone. Guards outside the hall toppled in unison. Lyra gasped free from bonds. Grit rose shaky awe raw. The chamber shook essence braziers guttering violet. Authority pressed relentless. Knees ground bone against obsidian. Faces twisted shock, then primal fear. Draven snarled up. What sorcery? Voice cut as pressure crushed his lungs. Astrum stepped forward calm. Internal monologue raced. Han-Gyeol's voice, from backstab tank to this? Fuck yes, no more carrying dead weight. Now they carry my weight. He didn't just defeat them, he absorbed. Vessel opened abyssal maw. Essence poured from Traitor's cores, first thin streams, then torrents. Draven's Shadow Legion essence flooded in oily and deep. Thorn's rage fire joined, crackling hot. Kale's illusion weave, threaded seamless. Elder's pureline bloodlines mixed royal potency. No rejection. Devourer class feasted. Monopool surged permanent expansion, from abyssal scale to continental. He felt it oceans of essence veins linking across realms, power multiplied boundless. Rot spores in air pulled clean disease, neutralized fuel instead. World building crystallized. Mana density systems crowned the highest. Authority enforced it absolute. Social tensions shattered pureline hold broken underclass outside hall felt the ripple rising hope. Competition ended here, throne unchallenged. Reactions cascaded, Draven's eyes widened, essence draining, face paling. You devour us? Dialogue broke weak. Astrum met gaze cold. Efficiency. Thorn growled low, but knees buckled further. Kale whispered illusion threads failing. Impossible! Elders pleaded unified. Mercy, air. No mercy. Vessel drank deeper, bodies withered husks crumbling to dust. Essences integrated permanent, mana pool swelled continental veins, now his arteries pulsing empire-wide. Lyra rose, blade steady, eyes wide. You're the monarch. Grit stood tall. Bro, you just ate the council, legendary. Coup collapsed. Traitors purged court, emptied silent except wind through shattered windows. Astrum turned to throne, claiming it. Emotions crested triumph, vicious, laced with dark satisfaction. Old betrayal scar burned hot, but healed in power. You wouldn't believe this, but the loser tag erased. He sat slow, crown of shadows forming above horns curling regal. Lyra knelt voluntary. My king, Grit, bowed chipped horns touching floor. For the abyss, purge complete, court loyalists flooded in half-breeds and commons' eyes gleaming, social classes realigned underclass now vanguard. Rot wards emptied across empire, his presence purging disease clean. Power systems locked authority as apex. Competition silenced, no rivals left breathing. Astrum rose, gaze shifting, not to the abyss depths, to the human world. Portal shimmered faint in chamber wall rift to soul's neon streets. The world that discarded him, guild that betrayed. Alara's face flashed memory bolt to the back. He clenched fist mana continental scale cracking air. Promise formed silent vow. Reign of terror coming. Those who killed him would kneel first, then burn. Internal loser dead. No more grind for scraps. Now they grind under me. He stepped toward portal shadows trailing. Lyra followed. Grit trailed. You reckon they'll see it coming? Light question cut tension. Astrum glanced back. Doesn't matter. Voice low. They die anyway. Throne room emptied, echoes fading. Outside empire stirred rumors spreading, supreme monarch risen. Half-breeds chanted ruin oaths open. Pure lines remnants scattered fear viral. Rot vanished from pits. Disease bent to his will. Mana density shifted, all lower bode instinctive. Authority wave rippled realms. Human world awaited. Soul's streets would taste abyssal fire. Guild servers glitch under his touch. Ilara's laugh silenced forever. Betrayal repaid continental scale. Emotions settled resolve steel. Han-Gyeol's ghost faded. Astrum, the supreme monarch of the abyss, arrived. He crossed the threshold portal, sealing behind. Neon lights reflected in violet eyes. You know what I reckon? Game over for them. My turn to carry the whole damn raid. Court purge echoed in history. First Demon King's authority reclaimed. Yet monopool vast enough to swallow continents, essence veins his now. Social order flipped half-breeds, ascended commons led legions. Competition for throne? Myth now. Disease rot extinct under devourer touch. Lyra spoke soft. The human world, they won't survive you. Astrum nodded. They won't. Promise sealed. Grit grinned. Fuck yeah, Monarch. Let's show them lag. Dawn broke in abyss crimson. In human realm, night fell heavy. Astrum stood alley shadows coiling. Old guild building loomed distance. Betrayers inside grinding next raid unaware. He smiled faint. Reign of terror began. Loser officially dead. Supreme Monarch walked forward. Empire followed. Human world trembled first.